Hello everybody, Josh Couture back here again with another video, and I'm here to give you my 2 cents on the recently announced Naruto the live-action movie. Now, of course, I know tons of Naruto fans across the universe are weeping, possibly weeping, from extravagant, insane rage because we don't want to see more live-action abortions from Hollywood when it pertains to anime properties. I know that because there's been tons of Hollywood adaptations to anime properties that just have not done justice to the anime genre and the anime subgenres and communities and fans and so forth, and so on and so forth. So a lot of people are pissed off about this idea. Now, if you know me and if you've been watching my videos for the last 2 freaking years, then you know that I'm pretty majority of the time, at least majority of the time, relatively optimistic about live-action adaptations to anime properties, mostly due to the fact that I want to see, at least one day, the anime genre grow into something really special. I mean, I'm just saying, kind of similar to what the comic book renaissance is going right now. Like, currently we're in the comic book renaissance. We're going to be having dozens of comic book, awesome, badass, hopefully, badass comic book movies from various people. We're getting the MC movies, we got the Fox universe, we got the DC extended universe, we have possible badass movies from Variant. So there's a lot of things to look forward to with the comic book renaissance, and I want to at least one day wake up and just be a part of this anime renaissance where we get to see tons of fucking awesome badass adaptation of anime properties on the big screen, kind of similar to how us comic book fans are having right now with DC and Marvel. That's kind of like my hopes and dreams, and a lot of anime fans don't really want to see that. A lot of anime fans don't want to see live-action movies. A lot of people don't really even believe that anime could be adapted to a live-action format because of its artistic style and palette. But for me, I personally would see it because I'm a hardcore fan of this stuff, and I really love it to death. I mean, that's just the general aspect of how I feel about anime. But that being said, it's been apparently confirmed that Lionsgate, if you've not heard this news, but apparently it's been confirmed from various sources that Lionsgate has acquired the rights to the Naruto manga. So essentially, they have the right to make a live-action adaptation to Naruto if they please, which they are currently making, or in the process of making, as we speak. Now, of course, that doesn't really mean anything. They could just have the rights and just hold on to it for like the next 20 years and not really even do anything to it. I mean, just look at Akira. I mean, they freaking, I mean, like, Hollywood has had the rights to Akira for freaking a century almost. I mean, like, it's been years and we still have not gotten a live-action Akira. I know a lot of hardcore fans out there are like, good, it needs to stay that way. The anime movie's better. And I'm not going to judge. The anime is a classic. It's a classic within the anime genre. I mean, like, it's the definitive anime movie for a lot of people, including myself. But at the end of the day, who's it going to hurt if they make a live-action movie, especially if it comes out really awesome and badass? But on that note, it could just be the same thing. I mean, like, Hollywood has the rights to freaking Bleach, what they're, currently trying into development for, possibly even One Piece, and, tons of other animes that, up the yin-yang that they fucking have the rights for. So it doesn't really mean, just because they have the rights doesn't specifically mean that it's going to go anywhere. I mean, they could just go into development right at the second of getting the rights, and then nothing's going to happen. They're just going to be in development hell for the next 2 decades and nothing will ever happen. So, at the end of the day, if you're a hardcore Naruto fan out there and you're like, this movie's going to suck, it's going to be the next Dragon Ball Evolution, fuck Lionsgate, fuck all of Hollywood, fuck them. I know there's tons of people out there who are feeling that right now, but at the end of the day, it doesn't confirm that it's going to happen because at the end of the day, it could just be stuck in development hell. The rights could just get stale and they'll never use it. They could just have it for the sake of just having it because lots of studios buy rights to everything all the time. But it doesn't mean they actually start doing something with them, right out of the gate. It could take years for this movie to actually go into development. Now, on the flip side, I personally am kind of optimistic about it. My only hopes for, and I've heard a lot of anime fans mention this, my only hopes for is they actually go through and take the plunge and actually jump and dive into the world of Naruto in live action form. My only real major hope that I just downright know that might happen but in my bones, I know it might happen, but I really hope it doesn't. And keep with me. I hope they don't try to jam-pack too much of the Naruto arcs into one movie. Because if you go back and watch a lot of anime properties that were adapted to movies, Dragon Ball Evolution is a major example. The Last Airbender, another big example. The major downfalls of those movies, amongst all the various flaws with those movies, but one of the big ones is they tried to jam-pack so much information and story points and arcs into one movie, which you can't. You can't do all these various storylines in one movie. You have to take your time on it. Be very simplistic with the one story arc you have, and then with other movies you can cross over to those and transition to those story arcs. Dragon Ball Evolution, they try to jam-pack the entire Dragon Ball series into one movie and try to go directly into Dragon Ball Z, which was not going to happen. They failed on that point. Last Airbender, they tried to do the entire Water Book one arc into one movie, which was not going to help because, you have various other arcs that are right off the gate. What are you going to just do, like 4 movies of every single arc? No, you have to take your time with it. Make at least 2 parts to every, book arc, and then you go into the various book arcs. And you don't just jam-pack so much info into one movie, because then we're just going to lose interest and you're going to fail on the certain points we want right, and then you're going to succeed in the points that we don't even care about. So that's kind of like my personal 2 cents on it. Overall, Naruto the movie could be successful, it could be interesting. I mean, like, live-action animes have been successful at times. There's a lot of real interesting movies that come to mind, like Edge of Tomorrow, really awesome, badass movie. Not to mention, Japan and other Asian countries have had success with their several live-action adaptations to animes, which are really cool, but we haven't really had an established, really good one in the States before. And I really hope that Naruto, the movie, even though I'm not a hardcore Naruto fan, I hope actually does that. And I hope they're very simplistic with the choices they make. They don't go overly heavy on CGI. And they hopefully give an appropriate budget to this specific movie if they go in development with it. And on top of all of this, I really do hope that they freaking don't try to jam-pack way too much information and way too many story arcs in one movie. I mean, like, I don't want to fucking go in... If this movie ever does get made and it comes out, I don't want to go into the movie watching all of part 1 of Naruto in one movie. At the end of the day, they butcher Naruto versus Sasuke, and they're like, okay, the sequel's coming next year, it's fucking Naruto Shippuden, no, I don't want that. I'd take your time with the story arcs, and then you get into the later ones. You don't have to do all of it in one movie. That's just my major hope. And also, I really hope they don't get an entirely white cast for this one movie. I mean, I know Hollywood is going to do their own thing, and they're obviously going to cast the specific actors they feel right and appropriate for these specific roles, and I fully understand that. But I hope they at least try to get specific characters right in their castings. But overall, that's pretty much my brief, speculation, my 2 cents, essentially my overall thoughts on Naruto the movie the live-action movie that's been announced. I hope you guys are at least relatively optimistic as I am. Of course, this movie could go wrong in 1,000 different kind of ways, but it could go right in a lot of ways. And I really hope they, as I stated, do these specific things. A, get a budget that's appropriate for the movie. 2, get a cast that's appropriate for the movie. 3, don't try to jam-pack too much information to the movie. And, of course, be very simplistic on your practical effects and your CGI effects, because Naruto the series overall doesn't necessarily, at least in the first movie, need tons of CGI. So I don't want to see like a crappy Last Airbender done again with just ninja characters instead of martial arts, water, fire, and earthbending characters. I just don't want to see that kind of shit go down. But that being said, let me know what you personally think in the comment section below of Naruto the live action movie. What are your personal thoughts on it? Or do you think Lionsgate is the perfect company to produce this movie? Who do you personally think should be cast in this movie? What's your fan casting in the comment section below? below. Let me know what you personally think about that. And also, just let me know what your personal thoughts are on Naruto, the live-action movie, overall in the comment section below. Do you think it's going to be bad? Do you think it's going to be good? Do you think it's going to be a flop like Dragon Ball Evolution and, The Last Airbender? Let me know in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already. And this has been Josh12.